It's been 3 months and I think it's time for a proper update video.
Stand up! Vanguard!
So what's been happening with the stride table and with Vanguard Insider in general? To be very blunt, there's been almost no direct progress made with any projects we're working on, and there's not one but three very good reasons why that's the case. The first one is when I showcased the stride table in the event in Eindhoven in end May. And when we were done with all the promotion work after, and the first stream of questions that came in after Different Fight launched his video about the stride table, something happened in not only my but multiple people's personal life that made it to the point that I lost my working space, or our working space that we were working on the table, and other projects involving Vanguard Insider. And personally, I like to clarify the situation, what really happened, but because this is not only my personal life, but of multiple people, I cannot really discuss it right now in this video. When I get permission of those persons in the future, then maybe I will clarify that in another video or live stream or anything, when people are still wondering why this happened or what was the case, or they're just curious of what, then maybe I can discuss it in that. The second reason why is because of school. I'm still in college and I'm trying to get my my degree for software engineer, and I'm in the last stages of that. But well, it was May, and June is the last month before the summer vacation, and most of you students may know always the last couple of weeks before the summer vacation are the busiest and the hardest part of the year, because everything needs to be done, everything needs to be finished before summer starts and the teachers are gone or don't respond anymore. So that contributed to the fact. And the last one is the multi-touch support that I needed to build into the table. The reason why this is a reason because there was no progress is the engine that I used, libgdx, should support multi-touch, but it only supported in Android and iOS on mobile devices, and since it's running on a computer, on a Windows desktop version, it didn't support it, and there wasn't really a good documentation that said it didn't support it, but also didn't say it did support it. So in the last stages, when the prototype version for the event was done, I came to the conclusion that it didn't support it, and there wasn't a direct support of the company that released the engine, and that there aren't any plans of making this support available in the near future. And because of that fact, I could no longer use used engine for this project, because I'm not certain that there's going to be any multi-touch support available. And there wasn't also any opt-out for a third-party API or somebody else that made a feature. And because of this, I needed to search for a different engine, a different framework that I could use to support it. And because of these three facts, so the multi-touch support, the final weeks of school, and the loss of workspace, all three contributed to the fact that in its last 2 to 3 months, there's almost no progress made to the project. But that doesn't really necessarily that there's nothing happened in these past 3 months. Because I couldn't work directly on the table, I started to focus on things that I could do without a proper working space or working condition. And so I enhanced my developing skills, searched for different frameworks and game engines, and looked at their specs and see which were compatible with the properties that I needed them to have. I also talked with a lot of musicians, animators, and talked about what my options are to implement their expertise into the project. So I've been doing a lot of social networking. But aside from the stride table project that I'm working on, there's also the Vanguard Insider YouTube channel. And the focus of the channel is currently teaching people how to play the game Cards with Vanguard and to see other aspects of the game. And we've been currently working these 2-3 months on a beginner tutorial series. The script is almost completed. I think I need 2 or maybe 3 more days, and then I can say for sure that the beginner series is completely written out. Then I need to shoot everything, edit everything, and make small animations for parts that I needed. But that's also a main thing that I've been focusing on these 2 to 3 months, because I could work on a script from anywhere. I just needed to know what the topic is that I wanted to talk about now to do it. Now for the fun things, let's talk about upcoming things that's going to show up on the channel and on the Patreon campaign. First off, we're going to release very soon a release schedule for the YouTube channel. So in this schedule we're going to show you what we're going to release on what day. So what's going to happen on Monday, what's going to happen on Friday, what's going to happen on Saturday and on Sunday. So we're going to have weekly videos of a certain topic each day from the week. So we got Monday, we have card of the week. So every Monday you're going to see a card highlighted for maybe his art, the skill, or whatever. Friday, let's say we're going to have a news flash about what's happened in the last week, about what did Bushiroad announce, what happened in Tokyo or anything in Asia with tournaments, like let's say what happened last with the Battle Sister going 2nd, 3rd and 4th. We're going to talk maybe about that. Also, I'm going to update the Patreon campaign video. Currently, the Patreon campaign only supports the prices that I'm giving back to everybody that support me for a certain amount of money are more focused around everybody that's living more precise in the Netherlands. And I want to change what I give in return, so that international people and people in Holland or neighboring countries of Holland get the same amount of contribution that I give to them, so that they really get the feeling that I appreciate their contribution. And I think I don't do that for international people at this point. Also, there are going to be Q&A streams, Q&A live streams. Don't know when I'm going to do it, but I hope to do the first one within a month. And these streams are going to be held on YouTube, not on Twitch, on YouTube. And within these streams, you can ask me anything you like, and I'm going to answer them as the stream goes on. And the last thing is about the updates about the stride table, of course. I'm going to do a more repeatable update videos about the stride table. And I don't know sure how I'm going to do it, if I'm going to do a separate video with only the updates about the stride table, or maybe incorporate it with the weekly news flash of Vanguard itself. So maybe I'm going to do a section with the news thing that Bushiroad released, and then with what I have done with the stride table in the last week. If you want to have a more ongoing should we say, a more ongoing view of how the project is developing from this point, be sure to check out the Patreon page. I'm going to do a lot of small things, like maybe an update of my workspace, little things, prototypes or little concept that I built just for fun to test certain things out. And then I'm going to show it on the Patreon page, and more in-depth analysis or more in-depth updates are going to be on the paid Patreon page. So you need to be a real Patreon, because some stuff you can just go to the website and you see the updates, and other stuff you need to be a patron to see them. So for everybody that's a patron, keep track of this site from this day forth, because I'm going to make regular updates from this moment on, and that's going to be a promise from me to you, because this project has been still for way too long, and I think it's time to change that now. To quick summarize the important parts of this video about the upcoming things that are going to up. There's going to be a release schedule in about 2 weeks. There's going to be a updated Patreon campaign in also about around maybe 2 to 3 weeks. Live streams I hope in the next month. Then there's going to be the beginning of the video tutorial, just the beginning crash course to Vanguard Insiders, and this is what I'm really proud of making. And this crash course series is also going to be the main thing about Vanguard Insider. So I really hope that all you guys are going to support that series and the series after that, because this is just the intro section to the tutorial series. And lastly is the Patreon updates that are going to be currently on the Patreon website itself. So keep an eye out for all these for these 5 things that are going to be upcoming to next. And of course, I hope you check out all the updates about the stride table, because there's going to be a little surprise around end this year for everybody that's around Zoetermeer or in Holland. So in Zoetermeer, Holland, because a certain shop is going to be held an event for New Year's Eve, and a certain somebody is going to show a certain some project around that time, and hopefully that's going to be a complete working project, if you catch my drift. So hope to see you in the next episode. Check you later, guys.